if you're with somebody right now and you know in your spirit this probably shouldn't be all right with accepting the memories, accepting the lessons, but don't move forward. Don't make something permanent that should have been a temporary experience. What's up? It's showtime. It's showtime. Guess who's back again? They don't know? They don't know? Or they don't know as soon as we walk in. Welcome to the Couples Lounge Show. My husband's got to learn the song so he can vibe with me.
Who is that? Is that Dougie Fresh? What song?
Bruno Mars. Did you say Dougie Fresh?
I didn't know. I really didn't know.
I'm your girl, Candace.
This is your boy Remon.
And we are the Tucks. And so we do this on Saturday mornings where we invite you into our space, and we thank you for inviting us into your space as we talk about love, marriage, and relationships. And guess what? Ain't nobody doing it like us.
Because they ain't us.
As he pulls the mic from his mouth, I hope y'all heard that.
Oh, yeah.
And so this year, our shows have been about healing the individual, being healthy as a couple, and being holy as we live and move like God desired and designed us to. And so,
what it do, man?
Last week.
Wow.
Well, first of all, let us tell you this. We have a retreat coming up, October 11th through the 13th, 2024. Engaged and married couples will be in Granbury, Texas again for an experience that will absolutely change your marriage.
Yeah.
You all can get the payment plan option, or you can pay in full to go ahead and secure. Invest in your love. Invest in your love. And you're going to hear about a couple on the next show that actually attended. And it's going to be just a powerful show. So make sure y'all tune in.
Yeah.
So,
what it do, man?
We had Chris and Unique in the building.
Ready for love.
Man.
Dallas.
Ready. They made it clear. Season 8.
Yeah.
Dallas.
They did.
That was, man, it's so many nuggets that we can pull out of this show.
Yeah.
And just hoping that those people that are dating with a purpose, or just dating, period, really listen to that show.
Dating with a purpose.
Just really dating with a purpose.
Yeah, dating with a purpose.
Because
everybody's not dating with a purpose.
Right.
Some people just dating to have fun, dating just to be dating.
And I would say that's one thing, first and foremost, you need to get that clear off the rip.
Yeah.
Are you dating? The person that you're talking to, asking them, are you doing this for a purpose, or you just having fun?
Right.
And I think in that authenticity, you give people the opportunity to see how we gonna move. Because some people want to date for fun. You just for fun, I'm for fun.
And Unique said it very clearly. Don't waste her time. She meant that.
Right. She was like, I tell them up front.
Yeah.
This is how it goes down. I love how I was connected with Unique in a way. She has the 3 brothers. She was the only girl, and she was like, "This is who I am."
Yeah, I don't play no games.
That part, and I'm not for everybody.
Right.
Understand it.
Right.
How powerful are knowing what you know now? Because now we talking from married people.
Yes.
From a married perspective, and it's understanding like. We're going to have an opportunity to
Hold on, man. I ain't got no shirt like that. I had a black one with my green one.
Oh, I just got you black. You can order a green one, though.
Don't worry about it.
You can order a green one,
I don't want a green one. My baby didn't want to give me one. Don't worry about it.
So we're going to even have an opportunity to speak at a singles event.
Yes.
And so I guess this show is almost a preparation for that.
Yeah.
Because knowing what we know now, being married.
Okay.
it's just some things that you should do or should know and how you should move being single. And what Ready to Love allowed them to do was let's let's get, as Chris said, let's cut out all this fat. Let's get to the core of what this dating experience is gonna be like. And that authenticity, being you,
Yeah.
I believe is the most powerful thing that you can do in the process.
Yes.
Show up as yourself. No, they said there's so many representatives out here.
Yes.
I can't believe it's still representatives though, like in your 40s and your 50s.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah, man, I do. I mean, real ain't everybody. It's not, in my opinion. People may think I'm crazy, but I don't think it's coming to just everybody just not genuine and real. It's too many fake, all the scammers and that's a real thing. People are not real out here. So
just
you think
to be
that
yourself?
no, because they may have a motive. Like if I'm a female, like I might want what you bring financially.
Mm-hmm.
As a guy, I might just want physically.
So I'm
Get
just gonna
what-
put. I'm
so
gonna put
I
it
have
on
to
and be
to
whoever you
get
want me
what
to
it
be.
is that I want to get. Everybody's not looking for love. Everybody out here is not dating to find Mr. and Mrs. Right.
Okay, so who we talking to today? Because that is a real thing. We talking to the people that feel like I am ready to love.
Okay.
Because I don't think that's just a woman thing.
No.
And the more you see it,
No, not at all.
I've seen that it is men that are really ready. Like I'm tired of being in the streets and men being even for the streets, and I am looking for that person. I've been able to witness firsthand what it looks like when you get older and you don't have nobody
Mm,
and you want and need community
yeah.
and you desire it
Right.
and you don't have nobody. So
Right.
now I'm older
Yeah.
and I'm living with
My brother.
somebody else
My sister.
and not having nobody to help you
Right.
with health stuff.
Right. Right.
And you living in a house all by yourself
Yeah.
all day long.
Man.
So let's talk to some people that are really ready to love, and how do you get prepared for it? I hope that y'all really listen to what Chris and Unique had to say. Respect people's story. That's what Chris said.
Right.
He said in his explosion, they wasn't respecting that he had no connection with this woman.
Right.
But y'all keep putting me on dates with her.
Right.
Y'all playing with me,
Right.
basically.
Right.
Y'all not respecting what I desire, what I want. He was very clear about having a submissive woman.
Right.
And the woman that they kept putting him on the dates with, that wasn't her MO.
Right.
And so her energy was not vibing with him.
Right.
So when you hear respect people's story,
Mm-hmm.
what does that mean to you?
To me, that means respect me and everything where I've come from and what I've been through and who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Respect my story.
Yeah.
Where I come from, I don't do this or take this or that.
Mm-hmm.
Where what I've been through makes and shape who I am today.
Yeah.
So if you don't respect that,
Mm-hmm.
you may come at me in a way that triggers me. You may come in a way that upsets, anger me, or you may not show me respect in the manner in which I'm accustomed to or that I deserve if you don't respect my story.
Yeah. And even I would say adding on to that, respecting people's story is understanding I didn't have my father, or I didn't have my mother, or I was raised with my grandparents, and how that has impacted me.
Right.
Which could be some triggering moments.
Yeah.
Respect where it's almost, I'm going to use both words, respect and honor, because I know you have been through this.
Right.
Whether you've been somebody that has been locked up and you choose to marry somebody that's been locked up.
Right.
You got to respect and honor the story behind all of that.
Yeah.
Because they're coming in the relationship with all of that.
Yeah.
Or respect, we just think about the kids that, that we see every day. it's not abnormal
Mm-mm.
that kids have guardians. They not even with their
Parent,
biological
parent,
parents.
absolutely, absolutely.
The amount of ab- abuse, not just mentally and emotionally, but
Basically,
kids are experiencing
sexually.
sexual abuse.
Yeah.
And if you choose to marry and connect yourself with people that have these kind of stories, you got to understand what's coming with it.
Yeah. Ah, man, man, I'm not gonna say hate. I can say this. It was. I saw a student. Like, oh man, she's sweet. Why is she in this particular classroom sexually active? Fifth grade,
Mm.
sixth grade, fifth or sixth. I think they said fifth. And I'm like, what? And I'm talking about the rage that she has and this and
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, and when you see, she looked mixed. She might be, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
Hispanic. I think she's mixed though. But just look like the sweetest little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? When you hear her story,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
heartbreaking,
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
Yeah. And I think that respecting the story will prevent us from judging. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, it
It's just
does.
like
Yeah,
that's
wow,
where
I
you
didn't think
come
about
from.
that.
Now I get to choose how I move with you. Or
Yeah,
do I keep moving
moving
with
with
you?
you. Yeah,
But
yeah,
you try not to understand somebody, or well, you shouldn't be like that with it. They're showing you who they are. Believe them. Now,
yeah,
can they heal? Can they grow? Absolutely.
yeah.
But honor and respect people's story and what and when and how they tell you they need certain things or what they need or
Right,
how they need it.
right.
And so I think when Chris was saying like that was kind of like the final straw because the producers wasn't respecting his
No,
ask.
they was looking for ratings. In my
Yeah,
opinion, that
yeah,
they wanted something for TV.
yeah.
They wasn't respecting his story to help truly make a love connection.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't
Yeah.
make me start thinking different about this show. Because I'm hoping
Right.
that's what Ready to Love is trying to do is build real connections.
I think that they wouldn't mind if that happens,
Yeah,
but
but the ultimate.
ultimately, ratings is more important than y'all truly being in love.
Mm,
I mean, that's
okay.
just my opinion.
All right.
That's just my opinion.
Something that Monique,
Unique.
Lord, Unique said was she was unapologetic about her spirituality.
Yes, should be. Some things I'm not playing with. I'm unapologetic. I'm not bending. And your spirituality should be one.
But you go to church, you think I want what you go to church for every Sunday? Like why?
Right. But that tells you, if anybody asks that question,
Mhm.
that tells you everything you need to know about them spiritually. I
Mhm.
say that at
Mhm.
least. What you mean? Why you want to every wait, what?
Is that something you should mention up front?
What? Your
Your
spirituality?
spirituality, your relationship with
Yes,
God?
I would. It lets me know who I'm dealing with.
Mhm.
Am I dealing with someone that has a relationship with God? And even if your relationship not as strong as mine,
Mhm.
I need to know that you have a spiritual practice. I will want to know.
Mhm.
Do you believe in God? Do you go to church? Did you come from a background that is spiritual or religious? Do you
Mhm.
come from that background? Do
Mhm.
you come from a background we don't really go to church? We
Mhm.
don't really pray. We don't really. If I'm dating, I would want to know that.
Mhm.
Lord
Do
knows
would
that.
that matter to? Do you think that matters to me? If the
Yes,
woman is spiritual, she have a relationship with God.
yes. It matters if I'm seriously dating with a purpose.
Mhm.
If I want a wife, I it matters. If I'm just trying to hit, or I'm just trying to kick it, and I'm just having fun. No, not really.
Mhm.
But if I want a wife, if I'm looking at you possibly being that one, no, that tells me something.
Mhm.
And that's a knock and a negative. That's a negative mark on you.
Yeah.
That's a negative
If you
mark.
don't
Yeah,
have a
if you don't,
relationship
yeah,
with
that's a
God.
negative mark. Yeah,
Okay.
there's no way someone that is spiritual or have a spiritual practice not view you a little different. I might not completely write you off,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of gotta. Hold on. Let me hold up now.
Yeah.
Let me hold up for a second. If you were a woman and I tell you that, would that not make you
If you tell me what?
that I don't have like, man, why you go to church? You go to church every Sunday. Why you do that? That don't make you
Oh yeah, no,
pump the brakes a little
yeah,
bit?
absolutely, but not pump. I'm.
Right.
Okay, yeah, this we finna end this. Then we gonna finish at this date. But yeah, I see no future with you.
Yeah.
Cause if, like you said, if I'm dating with a purpose,
Yeah.
and you frowned up about me talking about God, I already know we finna be unequally yoked, baby.
Completely.
Cause I got a full spiritual practice, and I'm going to talk about God. And if you are offended in any way, cause
Right.
you following something. If you ain't following God, you're following something.
Yeah.
And if that something ain't God, I'm not. You're not finna. I'm not following you nowhere.
Yeah.
You ain't finna take me to hell with you. You're not. No. So yeah, I think that's one of them things that to don't even shy away from.
No. Why
because
would
some
you?
people try to uh talk that, and it's not a lot, but it breaks my heart when I see it on social media. People, oh, y'all believe in God, or y'all believe in Jesus, and y'all this church, church this, and just talking bad about that thing in which God has created.
Yeah.
And understanding, yeah, it's bad in everything. So yes,
Yeah.
it's some people that probably are pastoring for totally the wrong reason,
Yeah.
leading in not a godly way.
Yeah.
But you have allowed that to skew your mind, hinder your relationship with God or whatever. And so, yeah, I think you just be upfront about it, and in that honesty and that upfrontness, you give people an opportunity to choose.
Yeah.
I think even in the being authentic, if you are somebody that's saying, this the type of person I am,
Mm-hmm.
I do date, or I don't be committed until I put a ring on somebody's finger, or
See, that
I
was,
like to do this. I drink every single day.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Being authentic and upfront, you give that person to choose. Do I want to continue to move? And that just lessens the stress for everybody.
Right. Right. Right.
I
Right.
get with you, and now I'm seeing all this stuff, and why you didn't mention that? I didn't
Right.
feel like I needed to.
And yeah, you mentioned it when I'm emotionally invested.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's good right there.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm all in at this point. Or
Now you want to be revealing stuff.
like, what the world? You should have told me before I got invested.
Yeah.
Because when at the outset of dating, you haven't invested much.
Mm-hmm.
A little time, maybe a little money.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I spent a little money on whatever date outing we did. My little time on a couple of hours or whatever. But that's really I can back up and not feel resentment at that point. But if you let me get in where I've invested my heart and my mind in this,
that's when people start losing it.
And that's how people get hurt.
And don't want to walk away. They start making up in their mind like you've seen all the good.
Right.
And it's like, okay, that's just that.
Yeah.
That's just that.
Yeah.
Be careful with that's little or that's just that. Because when they do it, if it does something to you in here, that's it. It may seem like a little seed right now, but that thing is going to grow.
Yeah.
So you got to just be honest with yourself. If this never changes, can I deal with it? Do I want to deal with it? Because you really can deal with anything you tell yourself you can deal with. Do you want to deal with it?
Right.
So, Chris.
What?
When he was talking about him and his sister and the Nigerian culture,
Mm-hmm.
And I asked the question, do they teach y'all how to lead?
Yeah.
Do you remember what his response was?
Something about how it was on the woman, right?
Yeah, they teach more of the woman to be submissive.
Submissive, yeah.
And that went back to the show that me and you did, and I said that we are literally trained from birth to be submissive. He used the remote. He called his daughter to come get the remote.
Right.
Although he can get up and get it.
Right.
So it's like it's already embedded.
But here's the difference. It's easy being submissive when you provide everything. As a kid or a teenager, it's easy to be submissive to your parents.
No,
I can't function.
Teenagers don't want to do nothing we tell them to do.
You know, but it's
not easy.
To me, it's easier because you provide everything. My food, my clothing, my shelter, hold on. It's easier when your parents is teaching you to and making you.
So what you telling me as a teenager?
It's easier than to do that than as an adult.
It was easy for you. Your parents, Remon, make sure you do this before I get home. Yeah. Remon, do that. That was easy.
I had no choice.
Not a choice.
So yes, it was.
It wasn't. You didn't you didn't. Don't know teenager
First of all, you're constantly speaking and not listening to me right now.
What you say?
No,
you
said obviously
than being married.
So okay, and as an adult, it's easy. It's harder because I can do as I please, and there's nothing you can do about it for the most part. As a child, I can't do as I please because I have to adhere to what you're telling me or there's going to be repercussions. And secondly, what else am I going to do? I can't take care of myself. But that woman or that man that is financially able to stand on their own 2 feet, it is harder for them to be submissive when I don't need you. I can pay my own rent. I can buy my own gas. I can buy my own food. It is harder for them to be submissive than someone who has to, because if I don't, what am I going to do? I can't buy this. I can't do this. But it doesn't make it easy to do. It is easier.
Okay, I heard what you're saying.
Easier.
In that moment you just saw me do right there.
Yeah, break it down.
I need to clarify because I know that this is what a lot of people think submission is. Do what I tell you to do. Submission is not like it is from parent to child. What my reference was is we are raised in a society where we have to follow.
Yes.
Let me say that. And that is what submission is. Submission is not about do what I tell you to do.
No.
Not from a parent, child. And I want to make that clear because that is the wrong mindset to have. And I think a lot of people have that mindset.
And I got a question.
Submission is
because I want to
do what I tell you to do and don't say nothing back.
So let me ask this question. Because I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
Is it being submissive as a child? Listen to the parent. Is that being submissive? When you said, man, we've been raised to be submissive, is that submission?
Submission is
I'm talking about for that child.
Yeah,
is that being submissive?
Following you. Somebody is giving instructions or giving advice or whatever, and so you are adhering to it. You are doing it. Although I may not agree with everything my parents say, but I gotta do it.
Okay.
I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Then that's me. Some kids are not like that. Some kids.
Yeah, that's why I ask, like, am I being submissive or am I just doing what I'm told? Because I mean,
I think it could be different for different children, but that's a real good question.
Because I think the way we grew up, old school, you did what you was told. We wasn't being submissive. I wasn't being submissive. You just had to do what the hell you was told to do. If I tell you to go wash them dishes, you go wash them dishes, or it's gonna be some consequences.
Some people feel like that's what submission is. That's why I needed
and that's why I wanted to
clarify what I had just said. Like, let me stop and clarify what that is. But let me get back to what Chris was saying and how he said he takes honor.
Yes.
In being a leader.
Yes.
And he said, I love how both. Look, I'm looking like they right there.
Right.
That in the Western culture, that submissiveness and leadership, it's all done got so watery. It's like a buzzword, and it's it's watered down. And when he was like, his sister won't have to worry about nothing. When she come back from Nigeria, he got her covered. But she got him covered when it comes to, I guess, domestic things, because he mentioned cooking. And he knows when he go to a Nigerian house, he doesn't have to cook. He can,
Right.
but his sister won't for nothing. So I think when you take honor
Yeah.
in your leadership role, that's when you are in alignment with God.
Right.
This is the role that he gives me, and so I'm going to show up in it. And those who I'm covering or who I'm over, they don't have to worry about nothing, or I'm praying for them, or whatever. However, the different dynamics, and y'all got to go back and watch the show where I talked about all the aspects of being a leader.
Right.
But I liked how he said that, in saying that the men that are requesting it, are you worthy?
Right.
Of her being submissive,
Right.
based off how you lead? Are you worthy of it? And some people just feel like, oh, that's what you supposed to do. Do it regardless of what I'm doing. You do what God tell you to do. I think that's manipulative. I think
it can be. Not necessarily always, but it darn sure can be.
What was the other word that I said? I feel like it's manipulative, and oh God, I was journaling about it. But yeah, I thought that was powerful. I'm gonna have to come up with the other word that I don't know if it was misleading.
It was powerful, but women have to be careful
on
when you give me the husband title. When you say
dating?
No, when you allow me to be your husband,
okay,
now you have made me worthy of it, whether I'm deserving of it or not, to be submissive.
Explain.
If I'm your husband, according to God, you're supposed to be submissive.
Okay.
So now I am worthy of it because I'm your husband.
Okay.
I might not be worthy to be your husband, but you allowed me to have that.
Yes to you.
So you allowed me to have that title. Maybe when I shouldn't have. So now that I have that title, according to the man upstairs, I am worthy to be submissive to. The problem is, I probably wasn't worthy to be your husband. You just said yes. So when you give him that title as your husband, now he's worthy, whether he's worthy or not, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense.
I hear what you're saying.
Because I might not be worthy, but now I'm your husband. And since I'm your husband, according to the word, we can't pick and choose like we both parties do. But since I'm your husband, now you're supposed to be submissive to me. Again,
and I don't think
but I might not have been worthy to be a husband in the first place. You shouldn't have said yes. Because I'm not worthy to be a husband at all. But now that I am.
And I think for me, I think Chris was taking it more so.
No. He took it somewhere different. What he said is to be commended, and not enough men feel that way. Not enough men, let me rephrase that. Not enough men have that mindset to take honor and pride in being all you can be for the woman that you chose. Not enough men have that mindset. Let me make sure my wife don't want for as much as I can. I believe every man would love to if he was financially able to provide any and everything. I believe most men would. Just the problem is, if I'm not able to do it financially, I can still be a leader in other aspects.
Right.
I might not can take you on trips. I might not can let you shop till you drop. But I can still be a good leader regardless.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I love how Chris said, I'm not wavering on having a wife or a woman that is willing to be submissive, because I know how I show up as a leader. And I think if we both genders can really get to that aspect of things, I know I can be a submissive wife.
Right.
So I'm not going to
waver
on wanting a guy that is willing and want to lead me. Not even I'm forced to lead you because I'm married to you. I want to lead you in this way. I want to lead us to God. I want to lead us to legacy. I want to lead us to prosperity. I want to lead us to healing and wholeness. To move and walk like that, a woman 9 times out of 10 is going to be like, let's go, baby. And I'm talking to the men that, because I know it's going to be some men that come on here and say,
What?
not all women want to, the majority. If your woman don't want to do that, it's some healing that she needs to do. It's a lot of hurt
I
there.
think that's what you should say. A good woman will. Instead of saying majority or most, a good woman will say, come on, baby, let's go. Everything you saying is what a good woman will say. Okay. I don't believe every woman is in that state.
Or in that phase.
Or in that phase in their life that will say that even though you're doing that. But a good one, you darn right she will. So instead of saying majority or most, because I think that's what we'll get caught up on. Most women, no, nowadays that might not be accurate. But a good woman, that's an accurate statement, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense when I say that. Okay.
All right. We got to show y'all something real quick. We want to invite you out to the spiritual marriage retreat from We Will Win. It is going down October the 11th through the 13th, 2024. You want to be in the building, baby.
Yes.
Why do they want to be in the building?
Say, man, to reconnect, to experience your why.
You're going to be at a beautiful location.
Beautiful.
Friday through Sunday.
Yes.
Meals are prepared.
Yes.
Y'all, you gotta be there. Take your marriage to the next level. Payment plan
right now.
Options are available. All right. So welcome back to the show. If you're just tuning in, you are tuned in to the Couples Lounge. I'm your girl, Candace.
This is your boy, Kappa Man Tuck.
And so we are recapping the show from last week with Ready to Love guests, Chris and Unique.
Ready to Love Dallas.
Season 8. They were adamant. Make it clear, make it plain.
Yes.
And so they just dropped some really good nuggets for those of you that are ready to love.
Yeah.
If you did not watch it, go back and watch it. Just showing up authentically.
Both of them.
As yourself as you're dating.
Yeah.
Be unapologetic when
and
it comes to your spirituality.
Yes. Just be unwavering on your core principles and what you stand on.
Yeah.
And that's something I took away from both of them, that both of them are unwavering on that. Like, this is what I believe, this is what I'm standing on, and I'm not moving.
And be all right with.
Yeah, I'm not for everybody.
That part.
What she said.
I think so many, I don't know if men do this, but I think women do this where you get to a place where you want love, and so I'm gonna hide a part of myself that I think might turn somebody else off, or I'm not gonna discuss.
Yeah,
this.
Men do that. Are you kidding me?
But are they doing it for love? Or are they doing it for the cash?
You
know.
Okay.
So I loved how they were willing to say, just stand on, and you're going to weed the people out.
Yeah.
Be upfront, and I know some people's like, well, how much should you tell?
Right.
And at what point should you disclose this? And what point should you disclose that? I think that's when you got to move with discernment.
Yeah.
That's when you got to move with Holy Spirit.
Because you can disclose something too soon. I do believe that. You don't want some stuff you don't talk about too early.
Okay.
Like, you just shouldn't.
Okay. I wouldn't say shouldn't.
I would say should. What I like and dislike sexually, don't talk about that early.
Why not? Because I'm saying that because the show that they were on, it was a man on there that was into like 50 Shades of Grey stuff. Now, I need to know that early on because I'm not doing none of that. And so thank you for telling me.
But the fact as a guy, if I even talk about sex on the first date or two, maybe say the first date or two, that some women going to run from the hills. Wait, you talking about sex? We just met.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
So, therefore, you can't mention that soon. Like, let me talk about
the first date.
Maybe not even you can't mention sex too soon, period.
Mm.
Because that's going to run a woman off. If you're single, Candace
I think
Walker.
You can mention it. I just think how heavy you emphasize it. If you mention, like, if we get in sex, or like I've seen this, do you believe in having sex before marriage?
Okay.
That could be a question that you can ask.
Okay, that you can ask that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I like in this.
Keep harping on every time we date, you talking about sex, like, dude, I don't even know you like that.
Yeah.
And I can't even imagine. They be talking about people be sending eggplant pictures. I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Like, boy, thank you, Lord. I'm just glad I'm married. Thank you, Lord. I'd be scratching. Oh, no. Yeah. But, okay, so getting back to the show. Making temporary things permanent. That go back to what you were saying earlier. People that's not ready to be, you done said yes to somebody that really ain't husband material.
If you make temporary something that should have been or need to be temporary, you try to make it permanent, you're going to bump heads and you're going to have problems from the get-go. Or maybe not from the get, but you're going to have issues with whatever that is. God has put this in here for you temporarily, but you're trying to make it permanent. You're going to have problems. You're going to have problems. God didn't intend for this to be permanent for you.
Yeah.
And if he didn't intend for you to, I didn't intend for this to be your husband.
Yeah.
I just put him in your life. I didn't intend for this man to be your husband.
This was supposed to be a platonic relationship,
right?
Or a business relationship,
a person that you could learn and grow from, possibly, not to move forward forever with.
You're supposed to have some memories and some lessons with them, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you done made this thing permanent.
Now that's a problem. That is a problem.
I think as the more shows that we talk about, I think it all goes back to self.
In what way?
Listening to self.
Right.
Being self.
Yeah.
Knowing self.
That's key.
That way you can have a more authentic experience and relationship with people. And even in that, I'm going to show up as me. I'm not sending my representative.
Yeah.
And I trust me, and I'm going to trust my intuition. I'm going to trust my discernment to know if this guy is not the one.
Yeah.
Or this woman is not the one. And I'm going to be all right with walking away and not moving forward.
Yeah.
With something my spirit is like, no. Or I'm not ready to go to this level, but I done said yes to this level. But I know I'm not. You can't be mad at nobody but yourself.
Yeah.
When you're moving against what your own will is.
Right.
How you mad at them? Because they didn't hold the promise, but at the beginning you already felt like this wasn't what I should have been doing.
Right.
God be trying to give you outs.
Yeah.
And I said I wasn't going to watch the video, but I think we might need to watch the video. You done heard about the Risa Tisa? The 52 videos, Who the F Did I Marry? You're clueless.
What the heck? Risa Tisa? Is that her name for real?
That is her page. She ended up marrying.
Was she a podcaster or something?
No, she just ended up marrying a pathological liar.
Okay.
And she did 52 TikTok videos about it. And people are watching to hear the story of how this man basically deceived her. 52. I just can't wrap my mind around.
And she married
him?
Like
a show. Yeah, but they only stayed married like 6 months.
Oh.
But he was like lying.
About everything.
Like he was finna buy her, I think. Y'all forgive me if I'm wrong because I haven't watched all of it. But I only watched one video. And at that time, I didn't realize it was like 52 videos out. But he like promised to buy her a house that was $700,000. Said he had somebody, he seen the house. None of that. Talking about his parents. His parents had been dead. The video I saw was that he would be on the phone talking to his brother or his friend, but it was never nobody on the phone. But he was holding conversations. Oh, yeah, she right here. Oh, Jack said, what's up? Tell him I said hi. But he's never talking to anybody.
What?
Was supposed to be having a car delivered to her, but he said something happened to basically promised to get her dream car. Said it was on the way, but then it got stopped in traffic, so she never got the car. But he was a pathological liar. But I was saying all that to
Oh,
say,
wow.
as she was going to meet him
It's
on the
crazy.
first date, she had a tire blow out.
Right.
So she was like, God was basically giving signs like, don't, like no.
Yeah.
And she just kept going through.
Persistent to get there.
Yeah, so being mindful of the signs that you see that you
remember when we was at Fishbowl.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the brother's name, and I wouldn't say his name anyway, but I forgot his name.
Mm-hmm.
He was at a wedding. I believe that was at a wedding. He met a chick, and he was on his way to seal or something like that happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
Long story, he couldn't get there. Come to find out a week later or something, she had HIV. You remember that?
Vaguely.
Yeah, and it was like, wow. But God stopped. I think he got a ticket or a flat or something to where he couldn't get there. But if he would, he was going to, and boom. Like, wow.
So I'm going to stop at this moment and say, if you're with somebody right now, and you know in your spirit, this probably shouldn't be. Be all right with accepting the memories, accepting the lessons, but don't move forward. Don't make something permanent that should have been a temporary experience. If you have said yes to a proposal, but in your heart, some is saying,
yeah,
not now. Be all right with putting a pause on it to explore what you are feeling.
Right.
It's better than going into a marriage questioning the marriage. So that means you're standing in a state of disconnect at that altar on the day of your marriage. That's how you starting your marriage out. So be all right. Be all right with it.
Right.
With just saying time out. Maybe it don't mean like over, but maybe we shouldn't be progressing like we progressing right now.
You got some beautiful skin. I'm looking at your face. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry.
You got some beautiful lips. You gonna let me kiss them?
Oh my God. Stop. No.
My husband's lips sexy.
Yeah, you can kiss them, baby. Can I kiss your lips?
Yes, you sure can.
I want to say something.
Boundaries. Yeah. Boundaries.
Gotta have some.
Gotta have boundaries.
And Unique was adamant about her boundaries. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned it on the show. Mm-hmm. I didn't actually watch Ready to Love Dallas. I learned about her boundaries and how adamant she was from our interview with her, how when you mentioned it, was it very clear on the show how serious she was about her boundaries when you watched Ready to Love Dallas?
Yes.
It was?
Yes.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, she ain't playing. And then she mentioned coming out of the marriage which she discussed. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, she was very adamant about what she want, what she don't want, what she gonna put up with, what she ain't gonna put up with.
Right.
And like she said, maybe that didn't work out for her on the show because she was so upfront with what she was going to accept and what she wasn't going to accept. But like she said, it was not just those 10 guys. It's millions of people watching. So if you think you finna slide in the DMs,
I'm still
let's
me.
get it understood.
Yes.
These are my boundaries.
Right.
And it's just understanding. I remember we had Coach Pruitt on our show that one time, and a lady asked a question, and he referred to boundaries as self-loving. A lot of times people look at boundaries as, oh, I'm keeping you away, I'm keeping you out, which keeps us separated, so to say, keeps a disconnect or have us in the mindset, me against you.
Right.
But if you look at it as a boundary is self-loving, this is for me.
Right.
This is how I love myself. This is how I feel safe.
Right.
This is how this works for my mental well-being or emotional well-being.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't got nothing to do with you,
You.
because it really ain't
Right.
got a face on it.
Right.
This boundary is because I love myself this much.
Right.
And so she was very adamant. And even the looks and the expressions she gave here on our show was giving like, don't play with me. This is what it is.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
So I think you should have those too.
Heck yeah, you should. You
But-
better.
But again, when people are dating, it's, I don't want to say that because I don't want to run them off. I don't.
Fear.
But
Fear. A lot of people live in fear and act and move
yeah.
because of fear.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a good thing or a bad thing,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what you're fearful of.
Yeah.
Being fearful of being homeless or in poverty
Mm-hmm.
causes you to work toward great thing.
Yeah.
But it can also be, in the instance we're talking, I don't want to say nothing because I'm fearful that they may leave. No, that's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Your boundaries be upfront and clear,
Yeah.
because if you're not careful, you get with the wrong person, and your boundary, people can cross, and you can move your boundaries back a little bit. You to move the goalpost back,
Yup,
and like,
that's
dang.
real. That's real.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so real. And I would just say, as a spiritual life coach, for those that don't know, I'm a spiritual life coach. And so, like you said, that fear of if this is but no, what I was about to say is people don't know it's all right to have boundaries.
Yeah.
Even in a marriage,
Right.
they don't realize, oh, I can have a boundary. Yeah, you can have a boundary.
Yeah.
Boundaries are self-loving.
Right.
And even like you said, fear, it doesn't always have to be a bad thing, but even with the example you gave, and I'm mentioning this because anything that is out of balance, too much or too little,
Right.
can be an issue.
Yeah.
And so when you think about, I don't want to be in poverty, and that fear, if it's not balanced, you will find yourself working,
Right,
and your
right.
wife or your spouse is like, come
don't-
home, come
right,
home. No,
right, right.
I'm trying to get us this
Yeah,
level. I'm
yeah,
trying to get
yeah,
us this level. It's
yeah.
like, but I need you. I need
Yeah.
your body here.
Yeah.
But that's out of balance, because you can still be consistent and persistent in your work journey and still
Mm-hmm.
make money and have success.
Mm-hmm.
So I think fear is not of God. So when we start operating in fear,
Yeah.
we gotta start asking ourselves, how have we taken God out of this
Well,
situation?
yeah. Because, like you said, fear is not of God.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now it's a what I call a true fear, natural fear, that thing that causes flight, fright.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
outside and I see a bird running towards me. That's just a middle.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
that's just
Don't
okay.
be-
Natural is
Don't be
run.
crazy. I'm not fearful, Lord. I ain't.
Yeah.
You got a bird running at you,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
You
yeah.
might need to be
Yeah.
a
So
little worried.
it's being mindful of fear is present. Is God not present in this moment? In my thoughts? Am I telling myself something that's out of alignment with God?
Right.
Because if it is a fear that they gonna leave me, you need to remind yourself, no, God says I'm with you. Trust me. Lean not on your own understanding. This one may not be for you.
Right.
Lean not on your own understanding.
Right.
Walk with me.
Right.
Nothing is impossible
Right.
without me.
Right.
So you think this relationship ain't gonna work. You gonna find love.
Yeah.
There will be somebody for you.
Right.
And just even the whole, you are my masterpiece.
Yeah.
Understand what that means to be God's masterpiece.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's what I would say when we start walking in fear.
Right.
How is God not present in this moment with whatever we telling ourselves about the thing?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What was your biggest takeaway from their show? From having them on the show? If I had to, and we ain't discussed this, but I say this because I want to ask you on here, what would you say your biggest takeaway?
When the first thing you said, that I think if we would move like Chris said when it comes to leadership and submission
Mm-hmm.
that would empower marriages. That's what I'm gonna say. It'll empower marriages to, if both people took honor in that role,
Right.
you can't help but to be in alignment.
Yeah.
If I love leading,
Right.
and I'm in alignment with how God says to lead, I enjoy it. I sit back and look at how my kids move, how my wife move, how my wife come to me, how I pray over my wife,
Right.
how my family is excelling what
Right.
we got.
Right.
And then as a wife to say, I trust my husband enough to say, yep, this is my perspective. I don't see it your way, but I trust that you're going to make the right decision for us.
Right.
And look at my husband. Look at what he doing. Look, yes, I'm following him. Yes,
Yeah.
look where he taking us. Look what
Right.
our kids are doing.
Right.
Man, that just will bring happiness.
Right.
Happiness internally,
Right.
and you see the fruits. Like I don't know the exact scripture, but it mentions the fruit. You should see the fruit from your actions.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not seeing the fruit from your actions, you got to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I just think when we get in that type of alignment, you will see the fruits, and other people will see
Right.
the fruits, and it's real. And it's not saying that we don't still have situations that we grow from in our marriages,
Right.
but the fruits that people see, the love that people see,
Right.
even externally, but even what our kids see and what we feel, that we can move in the earth realm knowing that this is real. This ain't fake. This ain't just something y'all seeing outside the house. No, he leading like that for real. No, she's willing to be submissive like that for real. This
Right,
is real.
right,
This
right.
ain't no front when we get out. So
Right.
that's what I would say.
Oh, okay. Okay. I would agree. That was my biggest takeaway was him with that, and Unique with clear cut on her boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And if everyone was adamant about who they are and what they want
Mm-hmm.
and stood on it.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
Man.
This is what I want.
Friend.
I'm not bending.
Peace.
I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Don't be in, like she said, don't come in my inbox thinking I'm somebody. No, this is me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come in my inbox, understand who I am as a woman, and this
Yeah.
is what I stand on. What if every woman like that?
Yeah.
What if, like you just stated, if every man took pride in leading and being that type of man?
Yeah.
That was my biggest takeaway from the show, how both of them was willing to stand 10 toes down
Mm-hmm.
on their belief,
Mm-hmm.
and was unwilling to bend for anyone.
Yeah.
I love that. So when they finally do, and she mentioned she has someone now. I believe she's dating now. I'm not gonna say she's married, but she's dating now.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's easy to say I got the right one, or you got someone that's possibly a good mesh with you moving forward, because I wasn't willing to bend, and he and she knew that and was willing to meet me there.
Yeah, yeah. And as you were saying that, I remember Unique saying, I know who I'm a strong woman.
Right.
So I need a stronger man.
Stronger man.
Stronger man, yeah. And that was me bringing up what Monroe said, Dr. Monroe.
Right.
That you got to have somebody that you willing to follow.
Yeah.
Now, if he passive and you ain't going to want to follow him because you see where he's, oh, you ain't trying to do nothing. So if y'all are dating, I'm not going to even say date up. I don't believe that, because I think we can be at different levels, and a man could be trying to find his way. This is probably a show that we can do.
What?
Should you date somebody that is trying to basically get on their feet? They're not financially in a place. Should you date somebody? So Tennille posed that in our question. Jessica put it on her page.
Yeah, why not?
But
I don't see a problem with it.
Then of course you had some people saying men do it all the time.
I just
Women,
I
but then
just
but
finna
people
say that.
said women do it all the time. We get with dudes that
Nah,
ain't.
I don't do that. I don't agree with
Okay, but I don't want to take us down
Hold on,
that
baby.
road.
They say
but,
women do that all the time.
yeah, well, you date a man that
He
is
may not be emotional, but not financial. I don't believe y'all do that all the time where he's not financially stable. Yeah, do women do it, obviously,
Mhm.
but all the time, no.
No, we
Majority,
don't use
no, we're not speaking in absolute.
absolutes.
Majority of the time, if that man isn't financially stable, it's gonna be difficult for him because it costs to even date. You can get away with a few dates
Mhm.
of not spending no money. Let's go to the park.
Mhm.
Let's go to where we can walk and just
Mhm.
discuss and talk. You can get away with that with maybe 2, 3 max.
Mhm.
But at some point, you're gonna have to invest some money.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to take a somewhat where it costs
Mhm.
at some point. You
Mhm.
can't just talk on the phone
Mhm.
and walk in the park and let's talk. Now that sounds beautiful to y'all at first. It does. It does. But again, at some point, my brother, you gonna have to spend some chips. And when you do take her, you can't ask her to go half. I can't.
On the first one.
Let's say the 4th or 5th day, I could add, but I want to do a Dutch. What?
Mm-hmm.
A woman
You just gotta wait for her to say,
yes,
I got this one.
yes.
Don't worry about it.
She has to see that you're invested in her and you're willing to. What woman, after we just went to the park and dated a couple times and talked, then we'll go out to eat and I'm asking you to pay half. That ain't gonna look at him side eye. What?
Yeah. We'll have to keep this for another. This could be a whole nother show.
Yeah.
I already, this could be another show. But I would say, going back to what Unique said, find somebody that is she's strong, so stronger.
Right.
I would say this, even, and I'm talking to the ladies right here, or maybe to the men. It's okay not to be where you know you want to be.
Right.
If a woman can hear your vision,
working towards
and
it.
she sees you're working toward a vision, I'm gonna say this: when you dating and you ask each other, where you see yourself in 5 years, what are you doing right now
to get
that's gonna get there? I mean, this is just general conversation.
Yeah, obviously.
You not necessarily trying to weed out, but you can see if a man is a leader by how he leads his own life. He ain't got to be leading you.
Right.
How does he lead his own life? What is he like with his children? Because he leading them before he gets with you.
Right.
How do you show up to say that where you can show the woman, this is how I lead? I don't have to expect you to be submissive. Let me show you why you will want to be submissive to me. I got goals. I got dreams. I'm working towards them. Maybe they ain't where I desire them to be right now.
Right.
But a woman can, because we going to add to you. As your wife, we're going to maximize your life, as you would say, if she's a good woman.
Now you learn it. There
Whatever.
you go. There you go.
And we was working with that couple this week where we read that one who finds if you find a wife, I can't remember how we had the scripture worded.
How we had the scripture
or
worded.
how the word had it, where it was a question mark, meaning that you is finding it.
Yeah.
It's fine. I wish I would have pulled that up. It's the part where it said, he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
Right. And
she's
favor.
worth more than rubies.
Yeah.
So she is rare.
Right.
It's basically when you find a wife,
right,
you might have found something that is rare.
But that's how powerful finding a wife is. Not only that, God said you find a good thing, it says in that scripture, you find favor.
Yeah. As you connect with her. You
find favor from the man up there. When dang.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm going to get favor in my life just because I like that. That was powerful to me.
Yeah.
It's right down there.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, and I know the scripture, but I wanted it how it was worded because God allowed me to hear it differently this go around.
Really?
So yeah, I had I'd been hearing it, but
it was aha moment
because it had I noticed the question mark.
Right.
And it was just like, oh, okay.
Right.
To find a wife, that it means something like special. That's
Yeah,
special.
yeah.
Can you find her amongst all that's going on? Can you find her?
All these women out here, can you find a wife?
Yeah. So I would just say that you can, even financially, if you're not where you need to be, you can still show that I'm still a boss, and a woman can come and add to you. These your dreams? Bet, let's get it. Let me add to it. Let me.
Yeah.
That's just if
I agree. I
you
believe,
know.
again, that's difficult in 2024.
It's difficult as we make it.
Women don't make. I believe it's difficult because
Yeah,
ain't
women
no
don't
getting
find
around. You gotta spend money. Having a woman, having a woman comes with responsibility, a financial responsibility too. Ain't no getting
I
around
think
that.
that's
That's a
another.
financial
I think too.
responsibility.
But
Having a woman.
this is goes back to being that authenticity, being authentic, and being straight up
Right.
with where you are financially.
Yeah.
Like I'm vibing with you. I like you. But right now, these are what our dates are gonna be.
Yeah.
But
See,
baby,
you.
our dates eventually
Yeah.
are gonna get to if we make it, and I know the
Yeah.
plans that I have for
That
myself.
can get you some brownie points, cause she can.
Absolutely.
But the only problem is, if another nice looking guy come around
Mm-hmm.
that's financially able
Mm-hmm.
to come, hey, you know what? Don't worry about nothing. Pack your stuff. What? We finna go here.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have separate rooms, but
Mm-hmm.
I got you. I'm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that other brother he could get lost by the side now.
But the thing about it is, if you lose her, she wasn't yours.
She wasn't yours
And
in the
be
get
all
go.
right.
Yeah.
And don't get in your head and start telling yourself something wrong with me, something. Whatever the
Well said.
conviction is, or
Well
maybe I
said.
do need to elevate her. But if that was your wife, she ain't phased by that. Like,
Yeah.
nah, I see something different in this dude.
Yeah.
You got the finances.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out here financially set, and they unhappy
Yeah.
because of who he is.
Cause that's a whole nother ball game, and I don't think some women don't get this. When you date a guy that's financially set or plentiful, he's abundant with cash. That's a whole nother ball game dating that guy. His mindset is different. His mindset is different, and he moved differently because he knows I got a lot of this.
Right.
So therefore, you might have to put up with stuff that you're not accustomed to putting up with because of who you're dating. Because he has that.
Yep.
And he may, not all men, he may look at women in a different way because I have so many options because of my bread.
So I'm telling you, man, y'all better know who you are, follow your heart.
Yeah.
And y'all might be missing out on some good men because he ain't making what you think he should make. Right. How about let's get together and let's look at his heart and look at his mind. You can save the income for later. Look at his heart and look at his mindset, because that will take you a long way. That y'all can always build together. You should build with your husband.
Right.
If both people are willing. That's why I say mindset and heart. And if you go in the word, you'll see where mindset and heart, thinking and heart is connected. So let me tell you the verse. I found it.
Okay.
Proverbs 31:10.
Okay, read it.
I'm going to read the, I probably should have just stuck with that verse. That first one. I like the new international version. Okay, whatever. Who can find a virtuous woman? Question mark.
Yeah.
That was what I heard differently.
Ooh.
Who can find
see that tells
a
me
virtuous
something.
woman?
See, that tells me, that goes back to what I said earlier.
Okay, let me give you the NIV first. A wife of noble character, who can find?
That goes back to what I said. Stop saying majority of women, what I forgot what I said. But that tells me every woman ain't. who can find a virtue? She's worth far more than rubies and whatever.
Yeah, the next part is she's worth far more than rubies.
That tells me there's only us. I'm not gonna say there's not a lot of them. That's not, because if it's rubies, they're valuable.
You get excited
because it's not a lot of. It's not a world full of rubies.
Or everybody's not at that spot.
No, everybody's not that. Everybody's not a good person. There are some evil, cruel, sick people out here.
I do agree with that.
So every woman ain't a good woman.
Not every, not 100%. I do agree with that.
So therefore, there are more women that are not virtuous than they are. That's why when you find one, it's such a good thing, and you find favor. You found something special, boy. You done found a virtuous woman. That's why she worth more than rubies and gold, because she is a rarity. This is something special.
She's
out of all these women, you done found the one good one. You found something special, boy. She's worth more than rubies, and I'm going to find favor in your life because you found that special one.
You found her amongst the...
So that tells you it ain't a lot of them out there. It ain't. And I know women won't go admitting like it's a whole bunch of good women out here. No, it's not. It is not. I'm sorry, ladies. It's not. Every woman out here ain't a good woman. And my brother, when you found a good one, God gonna put favor in your life because you found something special. Because there's a whole bunch of going tools out there. But you found a virtuous woman.
Okay.
That's special. That's special. So, man, that's just what the Bible said.
I agree.
It's hard to argue that.
I agree. Well, I would say this, because we're all images of God. We all have the potential to be
good people,
good women, or virtuous wife.
We do. Well, y'all do.
So I would say that's where healing takes place. That's where getting in alignment and having a relationship with God takes place, so that you can become, like we're going to talk about next show, overcoming.
See, I'm going to use this scripture. I'm going to have to educate people on that.
So thank you.
Hold on. What was that scripture? Proverbs what?
31:10. 31:10. So this was a great show for those that are ready to love.
Absolutely.
Dating.
And shout out to Unique and Chris one more time. We thank y'all, but just want to thank y'all again for coming on the show. Thank y'all again.
Yeah. And so we'll be looking for season 9
for Worth. Ready to
love.
So
if y'all know them, tell them, y'all send me their information. They ain't got to reach out. I'll reach out to them. But thank y'all for tuning in to the Couples Lounge show again. If you are interested in realigning, reconnecting, and rebuilding in your marriage, go to www.spiritualmarriageretreat.com. Join us. We will only be taking 7 couples. Y'all know what that number 7 is about. But if you need individual or life coaching, feel free to reach out. You can go to my website, www.candacetuck.com. We love y'all. See y'all next week.
Hit the subscribe button.